Welcome back, everybody. More Master League battles coming at you. This time, we are using Dawn Wings Necrozma with Iron Head. I think that's a very clever pick, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. If we go to PvPoke's Team Builder and put in Rhyperior and Tapu Bulu with Ultra Standard movesets, we can see the likely core breakers. The team overall, just those two, has an A for coverage, A for bulk, B for safety, and B for consistency. So already very, very strong. But if you look at these counters, it's kind of interesting because you want to look for the purple X's on both columns. And honestly, with all the top meta picks here, there's not a single one that beats both of these Pokemon, both the Tapu Bulu and the Rhyperior. These are the top threats for this core, right? Very common picks like Master League Golisopod, Genesect with Douse, Zapdos, Galarian form, as well as Kartana, Venusaur, Abomasnow, and Victreebel. Those are the only 7 Pokemon that beat both Rhyperior and Tapu Bulu in Master League. And honestly, those Pokemon probably can't beat much else. So with this team, my goal was to have some coverage for that core, but also not to be overly weak to anything either. I'm going to bring my, what I call the Walmart Palkia, which is Palkia with no special move. There's no spatial rend on this Pokemon. I'm running Draco Meteor instead, but it is a Hundo Origin Palkia, so I think it'll do. We're also going to have Xerneas on the team. I just think that Xerneas is one of the strongest Pokemon. I think it's better than Zacian, and I think that the Geomancy Moonblast combination is just so good. The close combat coverage is hard to miss. Let's go right into game number 1 here. We are going to be leading our Necrozma with Dawn Wings. We're going to lead it into Xerneas. This is a beautiful shiny Xerneas, which is really sick. But now we do have that Iron Head coverage. Remember, we can hit this Pokemon within just a few Shadow Claws. Going to go ahead and fire out this Iron Head into Xerneas. You're going to learn something really interesting here in this matchup. As that Iron Head connects, my opponent did not expect it. They're probably thinking this is Dark Pulse and Moongeist Beam, but nope, we've got Iron Head. I'm going to try to farm down in 7 more Shadow Claws, but look at this Xerneas. It's barely hanging on, and that last Shadow Claw did not apply in time, which means it does get the double Moonblast. So whenever you play this Necrozma Dawn Wings into Xerneas matchup, it's going to get the 2 Moonblasts if it's a Hundo every single time. My opponent swaps into Kyogre. They're going to overcharge a lot of energy. I'm really shocked that they're staying in as long as they are. Very poor timing by me. I let the waterfall through. But honestly, I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel like the fast attack inconsistencies are so rough right now. It's so hard to tell because it feels like there's a waterfall, and then suddenly 2 waterfalls come through. Anyway, I'm able to hang on through that Blizzard, which is really, really clutch, and get off the Aqua Tail to take that shield away from the Lando. Lando's got no shields left. I come back in with my Necrozma Dawn Wings, and look at this! Look at the Moongeist Beam! Bam! One shot that Lando, which is absolutely crazy. My opponent brings in the Kyogre, but they know that it's all over and done with. As you can see, I still am in the pits, but we're learning. I think we're improving. Here comes a Lando Therian. I'm not Steel and Psychic like the Duskmane variant. I'm Psychic and Ghost, which means I'm not taking super effective damage from these Mud Shots or from a Sandsear Storm, which means I can comfortably no-shield this. Stone Edge, Sandsear, either way is fine. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Iron Head here after I build to the Moongeist Beam to try and take a shield. My opponent does shield, which is really nice. And you know what? They're starting to get so low. I wonder if an Iron Head is actually enough to pick up the KO. Anyway, we're not going to find out. We're going to go into Xerneas to meet this Palkia. And as you can see there, again, the Dragon Breath is like stuttering with the Palkia. Anyway, I'm going to build up some... Look at it! You can see it. Anyway, I'm going to build up some additional energy. 3 extra Geomancies there. Overcharging just a pinch. Going to throw that Moonblast. In comes the Ho-Oh. Now, the Palkia is so good because it does do well against both the Rhyperior and Pokemon like Ho-Oh. I'm going to fire off my Moonblast here, hoping for a debuff. That'd be really nice. Moonblast connects, no debuff. Going to try to get to one more. Actually, I'm going to swap. I'm going to combo play, try to take this shield away with the Moongeist Beam, firing this right away into the Ho-Oh, and they do shield it. Oh, and I hang on through the Incinerate, which is honestly not great. That's not ideal. I think at this point I come in with the Palkia Origin form. I think that's my play. I do get the Dragon Breath, so I don't get denied, which is really nice. If it's Sacred Fire, I don't care. It's actually Solar Beam? What in the world? They must have been sick of the Rhyperiors too. Honestly, Sacred Fire Solar Beam into that Rhyperior Tapu Bulu core is actually pretty nifty. We shield the Sandseer Storm, and we go for a full Dragon Breath down. Opponent comes in with a Ho-Oh. We could go for the Draco, but we're going to throw the Aqua Tail instead. I mean, either one would have got the job done. Draco would have been a lot more flashy, but the Aqua Tail, you know, why use more than you need? Going to this game number 3. This team is fun so far. Let's see if it can keep on kicking. We're taking on Bambino, not to be confused with Childish Gambino. All right, we're going to see a Giratina Origin form in the lead. I'm taking double super effective from the Shadow Claw, so I don't want to stay in that matchup. I swap into my Palkia. And Togekiss, again, kind of dwelling on some weird... Look at that timing on the charms. Anyway, we're going to throw the Aqua Tail here. I'm going to try to get to one more Aqua Tail against the Togekiss here. Let's see if we can do it. And we do. I'm going to undercharge just slightly, though, because I want to Shadow Claw through this Pokemon with my Necrozma Dawn Wings. Gonna come in here with my Necrozma, looking for some Shadow Claw damage. I think this is just Ancient Power. And it is, which is nice. Opponent does not get the boost either. Honestly, the boost would have been good because it could have given me like 2 more Shadow Claws. Anyway, they come back in with the Giratina. There's still 4 shields in play. I think this is Shadow Ball. I don't think they're going to bait. And I actually do call it, which is nice. Opponent comes in with a Melmetal. Honestly, this is the craziest game of the video because I feel like I was hard countered from the beginning. But we're going to see what we can do. I fired the Moonblast. Opponent does not get debuffed, but they do get some valuable chip damage. My opponent still has 2 shields. I'm basically hard countered, although I do have some energy on my Necrozma Dawn Wings. There might be a shot here. Opponent throws the second Rock Slide. This is going to chip me way down to the red. Come back in with the Necrozma. I'm going to overcharge. Throwing it on the charge tech priority after 5 Thunder Shocks. This is really synced up with the Rock Slide. Throwing this Moongeist Beam to pick up the KO. Hold on. In comes the Giratina. But I'm going to get farmed down, right? It's double super effective. I go for the Iron Head here to try to take a shield away from that Giratina Origin form. And I do. I actually succeed, which is really nice. And now I still need the Moonblast. I have a lot of energy though. I'm going to have to bait the close combat into a Ghost Dragon type. We bait it. Does Giratina take it? They do. Can I get to the Moonblast? It's a charge tech priority tie. Are we able to outpace the second Ominous Wind here, get the Moonblast, and try to pick up the KO? Yes, we are able to get there. We get to the Moonblast. Giratina can't close it out. Such a tough position to be in, but we are able to win that game number 3, and that was the craziest game that I played in this set. But keep watching because things go pretty well for us down the stretch. We're going to see a Primarina in the lead. This one is running Waterfall, so it's only 5 Waterfalls up to the Hydro Cannon each time. I'm going to go ahead and bait with the Iron Head. I guess this is neutral still, which is nice. But it does deal some meaningful chip. I come into the Palkia. This is super risky, but I wanted to catch a Hydro Cannon here, and we do, which is nice. Opponent is going to overcharge just a little bit. I think it's 6 to the Disarming Voice. So I'm going to throw the Aqua Tail here to try to cut off that energy and not use a shield. Opponent does actually shield. And now I'm going to shield as well. If they stay in and let me Dragon Breath down, that'd be really awesome. Oh, they actually swap out. They have their own Necrozma, which is really cool. Necrozma Dawn Wings. I don't know how good my timing was there. I think that might have been a charge type priority tied. We're going to find out. And it was. It was a CMP. Let's see. Dark Pulse on this Necrozma. I can't get to the Aqua Tail. But I think that I might be able to Shadow Claw down. Again, double super effective damage. Oh, I wanted the swap, but I got the 1-turn lag when I brought my Pokemon in. I should have been synced with that Necrozma, but because of the 1-turn lag, I had to let it go because I couldn't even reach for my Xerneas. They have Annihilate in the back. Hold on. The win condition here is to land a Moonblast, obviously. But I cannot allow my opponent to catch. I blind throw this Moonblast here because I don't expect them to swap right after the Rage Fist, and I do get the shield. Now I need to wait for the swap. My opponent's going to try to build a 2 Rage Fists. I have the energy. I'm not going to throw it. Primarina Waterfalls are adding up their neutral damage, and now the Xerneas is able to make it out. Firing off the Moonblast here. Going to win the charge type priority tie over the Annihilate, and I still have a shield in the bank, so Xerneas able to close out this game number 4. Wow. That was awesome. That was sick. Xerneas, I'm telling you, it's so strong. It's so strong. Froggy, Senior 8, leads Zygarde. Zygarde, a little bit tricky. Opponent switches into Yveltal, huge opening. Just threw the door open for me, so I send in my my Xerneas here. I do not want to take an Oblivion Wing, and I know that if I land the Moonblast after a few Geomancies, it will be enough to knock out. I'm still kind of working on my Geomancy timing. I think I have a graphic that says that 10 Geomancies is the max energy. Sometimes I do go over. I know they have Zygarde, and they have Yveltal right now, so this is a Dragon Dark team. Probably going to be a Fairy or a Steel type as their third, right? Going to go ahead and fire off my Moonblast here to try to pick up the KO, and we do. Coming in with the Ho-Oh, so I was wrong on my guess, but unlike the Duskmane team, I'm able actually to swap in this Necrozma and actually deal some damage and threaten this Ho-Oh just a little bit. Ironhead does pull the shield, which is super nice, and I know that I have my Palkia in the back as well, so I'm feeling pretty confident at this point. Sacred Fire does connect, not a huge deal. Gonna have to bring in my Palkia, but I wait down the switch timer just in case my opponent reaches for that Zygarde, and they do. I'm watching that switch timer with one eye, and I do not want to take an Earthquake here, so I'm kind of playing this judiciously. I actually, not the best timing there on the Dragon Tail, but I do land the Draco. It does pick up the KO. In comes the Ho-Oh. I could have maybe clinched the Aqua Tail, but I was already debuffed due to Draco, so I swap out into my Xerneas to soak the Sacred Fire, and now I come in, fire a few more Dragon Breaths, and then the Aqua Tail. This is super effective water type damage against the Ho-Oh, and Aqua Tail or not, it's enough. Let's check out. Oh, that was actually game number 5. Yeah, we got a 5-0 with the Ironhead Necrozma Dawn Wings, which is an absolutely fun pick. If you're not running into Yveltal, very, very strong. I would say as well that if you're going to play this Pokemon, play it in the lead or maybe as a closer, but I say the lead so you can maneuver it around in case you run into that Yveltal. I tried to make Mewtwo work earlier on the season and I was safe swapping it. That was a disaster. Do not do that. Anyway, my opponent led the Kyogre. They have the Primarina. This looks like the classic triple water team, which is probably going to be Palkia in the back. Triple Water has been rising in popularity quite a bit because I think people want to beat Rhyperior. They are sick of Rhyperior and they want to get rid of it. So, makes a lot of sense. Disarming Voice connects. Bad timing by me again. I fired 3 Dragon Breaths instead of 2. But I do land the Aqua Tail. Can I get to another one? And I do. Another waterfall coming through. Not my best moment. Not my best moment. But we do pick up the KO and take back Switch, which is actually insane. There's the Palkia, just like we thought. Palkia is going to stay in here for a little while. 3, 6, 9, 12, so it's 4 Geomancies to the Aqua Tail. And they come in with a Kyogre. I'm going to throw the Close Combat because I want to soften this Pokemon up just a little bit for my my Necrozma. They shielded, actually. I think I shield in kind. Yeah. What I want to do is I want to get up to the Moongeist Beam. This is another cool facet of this Pokemon versus the Duskmane, is that Sunsteel Strike is so good against fairies and the occasional rock types, but against neutral matchups, Ghost is really hard to beat. It's a very, very strong typing in the meta. And I do get to another one here against the Palkia, which is really nice. I'm starting to think, though, there might be a loose condition for me if they farm all the way down, because then they'll have double Aqua Tails, and if they can close in on the 3rd Aqua Tail, this will be game over. I still have a shield, but I'm not going to use it here. Just trying to get to this close combat. Well, who's that getting? There was really no concern there. Able to get to the close combat here against the Palkia. This does about 42%, so I am able to pick up the KO and take down the Palkia origin form. Taking a look at this next battle. Let's see what we got. This is Seavile, buddy. They're going to lead Ho-Oh. I don't know the raw matchups for this, but I think if I land the Moongeist Beam, I have a good chance of winning. Especially once you see how much damage I'm doing. Opponent does decide to throw a charge stack here. Will be the Sacred Fire. I'm going to bait. I'm going to bait Ironhead. I'm getting a little swifty here. A little crafty, a little scrafty. I do get the shield. Build into the Moongeist Beam. Oh, this is actually working out really nice. Because now, if they don't shield this, it KOs. Oh, it doesn't KO quite. So I'm forced to swap. I thought it would KO. I'm forced to swap into my Palkia. However, they throw the Brave Bird, so how good of a swap is it really? And then I'm met by a Fairy type as well. So honestly, I probably should have just stayed, eaten the Brave Bird as the Necrozma, and then just farmed down with Palkia. Maybe that would have been better. because now I lost a lot of health and I have to take on a Xerneas and whatever the third Pokemon is that I still haven't even seen. We're able to weaken this Xerneas quite a bit, but the problem is that we can't really farm down. It's got a lot of energy. Coming with my own Xerneas, I do get my Geomancy, which is really nice. Thanks, Niantic. Gonna go ahead and shield the Moonblast here. No attack drop, which is nice. I switch in. I'm trying to snipe with some Shadow Claws, but it doesn't work out. My opponent still has the shield. They connect with the Moonblast. It's a Zacian. Okay, so this was a what? Ho-Oh Double Fairy? I don't really think there's a way for me to win this game. Opponent's just gonna go ahead and fire off Wild Charges once they're ready. Still has a shield in tow as well. Yeah, there's really no way for me to win. Unfortunate. But as you saw in the previous video from yesterday, we are no strangers to the Double Fairy strats. I do think it's very, very strong in Master League. Especially if you have close combat on both of them, then you can really cover against the things that you are technically weak to. Gonna take a look at this next battle here. We've got Dr. 088. Necrozma lead into Xerneas. As we saw in that game number 1, it's really, really hard to farm this Pokemon down, even after landing the Iron Head. But we're going to try it. We're going to try it one more time. I think you have to be a hundo. Maybe there's a bulk point for this matchup, but anyway. Opponent does get to the Moonblast. I think I no-shield the first one this time. And I'm hoping to Shadow Claw down 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my gosh, the Xerneas hangs on with just 1 HP. Or maybe 2 HP. I don't know. Master League is very bulky. Moonblast does not drop our attack, which is nice. I'm keeping one eye on the swap. If it's something like Yveltal, I'll swap. But instead, it's a Rhyperior. Finally, I'm able to throw an Iron Head into a Rhyperior. I throw it here. They shield it. I get to another one. Right there. And I'm able to throw the second one. Do they shield the second one? Come on. Yes! That's so good. Oh, that's so good. I take both shields, which is really nice. That just totally validates what I wanted from this Pokemon with Iron Head, and I really appreciate it. Although, you've probably noticed by now, oh my gosh, I banked the Aqua Tail and switched into my Xerneas against this Necrozma Dawn Wings. I think that was a CMP. I do not want to get hit with a Moongeist Beam. It's actually Iron Head, wow. Cue the Spider-Man meme. 2 players of culture here. But if you notice, out of all these games we've seen, I haven't seen a single Rhyperior or Tapu Bulu. That's the whole reason that we built this team and we built this Pokemon. We wanted to see that core so we could break it apart, right? This move is actually double, I think triple resisted because it's Ghost and Psychic. So it basically does nothing. So I'm forced to swap into my Palkia. The good news is that my opponent doesn't have a charge attack, or maybe they messed up and threw the Mud Slap with the Rhyperior, which means I'm able to Aqua Tail and then Dragon Breath down. So my Walmart Palkia putting in work, all right? This is great value brand. Goes the extra mile. Gonna see a Rhyperior here. Do we see the Rhyperior Tapu Bulu core though? That's the question. Gonna go up to 7 Shadow Claws, throw the Iron Head. This will be super effective into that Rhyperior. And it does come through, which is nice. Opponent could throw the Rock Wrecker, or they could bait. Ah, it's so nauseating. Throw the Rock Wrecker, so I get it right. They come in with the Xerneas. I'm gonna throw the Iron Head here. Again, they know that I have Iron Head. They probably will shield this. Opponent does shield it, actually. They're gonna go for the Moonblast. I don't think I survived this one, so I have to shield. 3, 4. All right, we get 4 more Shadow Claws into the next Iron Head. Can I take both shields? That'd be really nice. Oh, we don't, but we do deal a lot of damage. I'm going to swap into Xerneas here. You could argue this was not a good play because I'm taking a lot of damage here. Maybe I should have just stayed. They come in with the Zacian. This is actually Rhyperior Double Fairy, which is interesting. Going to fire up the Moonblast here and try to deal some chip damage to this Pokemon. They shielded up, actually, and this looks really bad. This looks like a really bad situation because I basically have no answer. Basically no answer for this Pokemon, but I do get the Iron Head. Hold on. Is there a chance? I get to the Iron Head here, landed into that Zacian. It was a charge tech priority as well, so really no margin of error at all to spare. Wild Charge just connect. Now it's debuffed. Hold on, Rhyperior. 2, 3. Okay, this is probably just Breaking Swipe, right? Will it debuff? Will it not? Let's find out. Breaking Swipe. Oh, it does debuff. Hold on, is there still a chance? Oh, Xerneas! Xerneas! It doesn't have anything left. It gets Dragon Breath down. My opponent top lefts. Let's go. Palkia just swept a Rhyperior double fairy team in stunning fashion. That was really, really nice. Rayquaza. Rayquaza. I hear a lot of people say that Breaking Swipe Rayquaza was more tolerable than Mudslap Rhyperior. They say that Rayquaza was bad, but Rhyperior is worse. I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. We swap in the Palkia here. I know they're going to throw the Breaking Swipe, and I did just give up Shield and Switch Advantage, but we're going to see what we can do with this. Opponent brings in their Duskmane Necrozma. I don't want to take a Dark Pulse, so I do want to get off my Aqua Tails here, but honestly, this is not looking great. I throw 3 Dragon Breaths. Nice. I counted that time. 3 Dragon Breaths. It does take this Necrozma down into the yellow, which is good, but I'm taking double super effective with my own Necrozma, and he throws Outrage. And I can't really farm down a Steel type with Geomancy. This is super uncomfortable. Coming in with Necrozma, I do have a lot of energy, so I throw 2 Shadow Claws and then the Iron Head. If they think this is Dark Pulse, they probably no shield. Oh, and I sneak in 1 more Shadow Claw, which is nice. Looking for the swap, in comes the Palkia. I got my Xerneas lined up against it. Got a lot of fairy type pressure. In comes the Ray. I need a full farm down here with the Geomancies. Come on. All right. They get the Breaking Swipe. Is this over? Is this game over? We're going to find out. Farm all the way down. Blind throw the Moonblast because we know that Palkia is coming back in. It's the last thing on the board. Do we get an attack drop? No, we don't. I'm 2 away. I think I need to shield here. I think I need to. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and shield. I need to catch. I need to swap on something, but it's so incredibly hard against 1-turn Dragon Breath users. Fire the second Moonblast. I cannot take an Aqua Tail. Oh, I tried to swap. No, I sent in the Necrozma. My opponent calls it. I have the Moonblast loaded. Is this Aqua Tail enough? No, I don't have it. I'm 1 short, and I know that the close combat only does like 42%. This Palkia has over half health, so unable to win that battle. That's really tough. I gotta be honest though, I do like that team a lot more than I like the Duskmane Necrozma. I think that having the Moongeist Beam and the Iron Head coverage is really nice, and even though I did not run into Tapu Bulu Rhyperior Core, I still think it's a strong squad. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and answer the question, will I ever get out of the pits in the Master League? Let me know what you think.